Proclaiming headings. This continues on the working with the body section. HTML heading elements. Heading elements are created using the following tags: H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6. These tags are ranked in importance by their numeric value. H1 ranked at greatest importance, and of course H6 ranked at the least. Please note that each heading requires a matching closing tag. In this case, you'll see an example, an H1 opening tag accompanied by an H1 closing tag. The data placed within these tags become the heading. And please remember that these headings should only contain heading information. This refers to bolded or large text that indicate titles to paragraphs or articles. Heading elements are mainly used to define document structure. So the first element we will get to know is the H1 heading tag. We will create a great importance header. Now I will be working in Notepad++. You are very welcome to also work in Notepad. When you work in Notepad, just type along the code that I will be providing. First of all, I will be setting my language. This is not necessary if you work in Notepad. You can just follow with the code. The first code would be the doc type declaration, which identifies the version of HTML used. Next, I will define the root element, which is the HTML tag, and by habit, close the tag immediately, just in case I might forget later on. Within the HTML root element, we always place the head section first, and then comes the body section. So the head section. Within the head section, I will be placing a title. This just conforms to website etiquette. So we can just add a title. Let's state it important heading page. Close the title with its corresponding container, as well as closing the head because the information for the document has been provided. Next, we will be opening the body tag. Now do remember that a heading is part of content, and the body tag always contains the content of a web page. Thus, we will place the heading tag within the body section. Now the heading we will add is the important heading. Now of course this can be any text matching your article or your paragraph, but for the purpose of the exercise we are just typing the important heading. Close it with the container of a closing tag. Once our content is done, we will also be closing our body tag, and there we have it. We've got our title, the important heading page, and of course the important heading added between the H1 tags. To test the document, let's save it. Save the document as important heading or anything that you would prefer. Remember, if you're working in the regular Notepad, add the .html extension to your file. Save and run the document in Internet Explorer, and there we can see a very bold and large heading, the important heading. Now if this is what the H1 tag looks like, I'm pretty sure you're wondering what do the others look like. Let's take a quick example. Here you can see my coding. I've added an H1 tag like we did previously, and I've accompanied it with all the other kinds of headings. A heading 1, a heading 3, 4, 5, 6. When I run the document, let's just take a look at what they look like. And there we go. This is my first header. This is my first header, goes down smaller, and as you can see, heading 6 is clearly ranked as the least important because it's so tiny. Now you can create your own versions by going back to your previous document, which contains the H1 file. Now if you want to add some more headers, you add them after the most important header, still within the body section. So I'm going to place an enter after the closing tag of the H1 and simply place an H2. Once an H2 has been added, let's type a similar heading. You can type anything here once again, but for the purpose of the exercise, I'm just typing the important heading. Close it with a matching tag. And of course you can continue up until H6 if you like. For now I'm only going to do the 3 and close it off with its matching tag. As you can see, all the headings are contained within the body tag, and this clearly states that this is content to be previewed. Now, since your document's already been saved before, let's do a quick save and run it in Internet Explorer to look at the final product. And you should receive 3 different kinds of headings, starting with the biggest one, H1, and of course H3, the smallest one in this example. So, have some fun, play around with your headings. Now, to give you a quick preview on how headings can be used in structure within HTML, I have placed 2 headings right here. In this document I've placed this is my first header in a H1 heading tag, and the second one I placed a subheader. Subheader is just slightly smaller but also in the importance ranking. And then I've placed a paragraph text and finally differentiated with a head. All this content is placed within the body tags. To take a look, there we go. An important header, a subheader, content, in other words a paragraph or an article, and then a second paragraph. Now there is a reason that headers are important. Search engine spiders may promote documents that have correctly sequenced headings, as they can use the headings in their index. So think about the fact when we go Google an web page and we type in a search question, the index options that normally appear are titles within the web pages. So if your titles are sequenced correctly, your web page might be promoted to the top. So keep up a good structure within your documents using headers, from the important to the least.